Hello, fellow coders. It's Landon here, and I'm going to teach you guys how to launch Electron with a Blazor front end. All right, so let's get right into it. And this will be me going through the steps of starting from an empty solution to a full project. All right, so we're going to choose where we want this to go. So we're gonna, well, I guess do it here, whatever. All right, Blazortron example, open. Okay, and then here it is going to be this. You hit create. We open up the Explorer, and we see that it gave us a root solution directory. All right, so I've done this video about 4 times, and I've had issues every single time, and they're mostly my mistakes. So I'm going to try to not make a single mistake at all in this video, and if I can do that, then hopefully if you guys follow along exactly, you guys won't mess up. All right, so let's add a new project. This is going to be a console application, .NET 5, and it's going to be our WASM client. And hit create. Okay, we get hello world here. We're going to take that off, and then we're going to make this public static, just static async task. Import task. Okay. We're going to add this here, take off the output type, change this to Blazor WebAssembly, capital B, W, and A. Okay, and then we're going to add a new item group. And we're going to add, let's see, WebAssembly to the WASM client, and then dev server to the WASM client, and then there's a few more here. Net core app, and then code generation design. I don't know if it's necessary, but I think I need it. So once we have those, we can then go here and do, we want to make a builder. So we have var builder equals WebAssembly host builder dot create default with arguments. And then we can do await builder dot build dot run async. Remember, run async. Always put that after your build, otherwise it won't do anything. We're going to add more information here later. And we're going to add a few directories. So we're going to add the www root. We're going to add another directory called CSS, and then add another style sheet. We're going to call this app, and then we're also going to add one called root. And then we're going to add index HTML. We go here, put this on loop because it's a really good song. Okay, and then now we have this, we can go and add our style sheets that it's going to ask for anyway. So we're going to link root and app, and then here we're going to call it hello WASM Electron, I guess, I don't know. All right, so now we're going to add another directory called shared, and then another directory called Razor. I think those are the only directories we need. So then we add under our project directory a Blazor component called app, and another Blazor component called underscore capital I for imports. Okay. And then under imports, we're going to do at using system.net.http, then .json after the HTTP, and then at using Microsoft.ASP.NET Core.components.routing, and then .web, and then .webassembly.http, web virtualization. I don't even know if we need these, but we might. Using WASM client and using WASM client dot shared. It's not aware of shared right now because there's nothing in it. So let's go in there and do the shared layout, which is main layout. And it's going to do inherits layout component base and then at body. Okay, and then we go back to the imports. What? Oh, I did that all in app.razor. Are you serious? Okay. All right. So make sure that you did all that in imports. I thought it was under imports. Okay, so now shared is there because there's content in shared, and this auto generates its namespace. All right, app razor. So this one's going to be router app assembly equals at type of program dot assembly. I don't know why it's not letting me do that. Oh, okay, I guess it's good now. Are you good? Okay. Found context equals route data with no at symbol. Route view, route data equals at route data space default layout at type of main layout. And then we'll just terminate this component there. And then if not found, and that's going to have a child component layout view layout equals at type of main layout. And then within these tags, you will have p. Sorry, there's nothing at this address. Okay, so that's all that we need. Now we're going to go into the razor area here, and we're going to add an index with a capital I component. And this is going to have page root path, and then at div id equals index. Hello, Electron, I guess. Okay. So now that we have that, we can add the other razor. No, there is no other razor. Okay. Okay. So I think that's it. All right, so let's go back to the program. And in here, we do builder dot add root components dot add with type parameter app. Give it the selector with the hashtag app or pound sign. And then we run this. Okay. And then I go here, I hit refresh. We get hello WASM Electron, but there's no title. What did I do wrong? So our app Razor has assembly, route data, default layout, main, type of main layout. Okay, so there is something there. Oh, this is what it was. Div ID equals app. And then there's more to this. And that's under our index.html. All right, yeah, there's a lot more to this. Div ID equals Blazor error UI. Loading. Oh wait, no, not loading. That goes up here. All right, and then within these tags, I'm just gonna copy and paste this because I've done it like a billion times and it's like, might as well just copy paste it. And then our script is going to have the source equals underscore framework Blazor WebAssembly.js. Simple enough. We hit refresh, stop and rerun. Go here and hit refresh. Could not find hashtag app. Geez, so many typos, right? Hello Blazortron. So that means the WebAssembly works. This is the bare minimum that you need to get it to work. There's literally nothing else. All right. Well, there is more stuff to get this to work with Electron, but aside from this and that, that's all you need for that. Okay. So we're going to make a new project. I'm going to call this one, oh my gosh, Electron Client. Console application net5, create. Okay, now for this one, we need to go into the CS project, get rid of output type, change this to sdk.web. And we're going to add two NuGet packages. One of them is going to be Electron API. Add that to Electron Client. And then the other one is going to be WebAssembly Server. Add that to Client. Okay. We're going to add directory. We're going to call it shared. And then one for page. Pages. Okay. We're going to add a Blazor component. It's going to be underscore imports, capital I. And then we're going to add the app. Get rid of the default stuff. Under shared, another main layout. Actually, do we need that? Yep. Main layout. Same deal as before, inherits layout component base, and then at capital B for body. Okay, so we're good there. Okay. Here we're going to do at using system.net.http. What else do we need for this one? At using Microsoft.ASP.NET Core.authorization, components.authorization, routing, web, then using Electron Client and Electron Client.shared. And is main layout done? Okay. Close all tabs. Then under app, it's going to be router, assembly or app assembly at type of program dot assembly. Okay. Found context equals route data. Route view, route data at route data. Default layout equals type of main layout, just like before. Terminate the end of this. And then not found, we're going to do not found is layout view, layout equals at type of main layout, and then p tag for sorry, there's nothing at this address. Okay, so they're both the same. Good. All right, we can exit out of both of those. And then we have something to add in here, and it's going to be a page, and it's going to be called _host. We get rid of the host cshtml.cs because we don't need that. Go to host, delete all of this. Don't need the model. Instead, what we need is the namespace. So at namespace, Electron client. Put that curly brace back. And then under namespace, we do add tag helper, asterisk, comma, Microsoft .asp netcore.mvc.tag help. I don't know what this is for, but it's there. So it's client.pages. All right, so that's all we need for the host. Page up here is root, by the way. My bad. That's all we need for host. Okay, good. Exit. All right. So we have main layout, imports, app, program. So program. All right, almost done. Public static iHost builder. Create host builder. String array args. Host.create default builder args.configure host defaults. Configure web host defaults, web builder arrow function. Terminate the end. And web builder dot use electron, pass in the args, chain this, and do use startup. We don't have startup yet, but we'll have it later. Okay. We can expression lambda that, and we can expression lambda this, or expression body that, and then invoke it here. So create host builder args.build.run. And that's all we need for that. Now we make the startup. Okay. Now in startup, there's a lot more code, but like I said, we're almost done. So public startup, public I configuration with a getAuto property. I configuration, lowercase configuration, uppercase configuration equals lowercase configuration. Good deal. Public void configure services. And we're going to pass in iService collection services. Services.add razor pages. And then public void configure I application builder app and I web host environment, environment env. Okay. So now we do if environment.isDevelopment. We're going to add app.useDeveloper exception page because, well, it's not like we're going to actually look at exceptions because we're bad coders, but use WebAssembly debugging. We never use that. That would never be a thing we'd do. Use exception handler in the else block. I mean, I don't see why we'd ever have exceptions, but in case we do, they go here. And app.use HSTS, I believe this promotes an HTTP redirect to HTTPS, right? But we'd never need that, right? All right, and then if hybrid support dot is Electron active, we're going to do this, and then we're going to continue with the rest of our stuff here. So app.use HTTPS redirection, chain this, app.use Blazor, no, use Blazor framework files, use routing, use static files, use endpoints, arrow function with endpoints as the parameter, and then terminate the chain. Okay, and then we just do endpoints dot map fallback to file index.html, so it always defaults to index.html no matter what. In fact, it's not even defaulting, it's just going to force you to go to index every single time, I think. All right, so now that we have that, we can go in here and do public async void electron bootstrap, and then we can do var browser window equals await electron dot window manager dot create window async. This is generating the window. New browser window options, get rid of the parentheses, add in the curly brace invocation of the constructor, and we do width equals 1152, height equals 940, and then show equals false. So we don't want to show right away until we actually have content that needs to be shown. Await browser window dot web contents dot session dot clear cache async, browser window dot set menu bar visibility false. We're going to comment this out because I kind of want you to see it first. Browser window dot on ready to show plus equals browser window dot show, and then browser window dot set title hello Electron. All right, so the title will be overwritten by any HTML that comes in that sets the title header. That's okay. Now we had to invoke this in the to-do area, so let's replace it here. Okay, so that should work. Now that all of that is set up, man, that's a lot of work. Now what we have to do is get the stuff to talk to the Electron. All we have to do here is cd into Electron client. Okay, is that where we are? Root solution, Electron client. Okay, once we're in there, we want to do electronize init. Okay, and now what we want to do is go electronize start. And it's going to build us the Node.js that we need. And once this is done, it should pop up your Electron client with nothing in it. And this is the menu bar. So we hit exit, go in here, and you see that there's a web config, and we're in the bin directory. We want to add our www root directory from our Electron client into this, because this is the working directory. So in order for this to work, we go into Electron client, we go publish to folder, call it WASM client, and it's going to take the WASM client. Target location is going to be root solution, Electron client, object host bin. So you want to select the bin of the object host location of Electron client. And then it's self-contained, and you want to pick whatever framework you want it to be on, whatever runtime you need. So here it's WinX64. We hit run. That should build our Electron or our WASM client. I selected this when I hit publish, but I changed the project to be this one. So don't get that confused. Remember, WASM client's your front end. Electron client is your application container, which is basically your browser. So don't confuse that. My publish is using this project and not that one. But I'm publishing this into Electron. So if I ever confused at any point, I apologize. But it should be building now. So we want to put the WASM www root in the Electron client object host bin folder, which is this one, and it should be finishing in about 40 seconds. Once this happens, we're going to launch the Electron client and see if we can get the content of the Blazor into the Electron client. So it's about 20 seconds from now that should pop in here. Let's see, we're at about 27 minutes. Yeah, this takes a while to set up. All right, so now we have the www root. Great. Let's launch the Electron client. Let's see if it works. It's probably not going to work. It's going to launch 5001. Yep. So that's what happens when you don't run Electron start. So what we want to do is you go into Electron client, you add a launch settings JSON file, and then you get rid of this. You get rid of environment variables, and it's going to be command name executable, and then it's going to be command line arguments. Start, and executable path is going to be electronize. Okay, and then working directory is going to be, I don't know if this even works, but working directory is $project directory, but I'm not sure if that's even valid. Okay. All right, so now if we run this, run Electron client, we should get a container of Electron with our hello Electron inside of it. Don't worry about all of this. That's just your warnings. All right. So hello Blazortron. Yay. So that's coming from WASM client. And it says there's an error. So let's check out what the error is. I think that's just a matter of all right, so I figured this out. It's basically just Blazor WebAssembly not having the capability to set the display of the error UI div to none, which is what it's doing. But because I took the CSS out, or I didn't add the CSS file in, I just made a blank one, it's not able to do that. So it is working. I confirmed it. I'm just not going to go back and redo the whole video just to get it to show you that it's working, because technically there is no error. If there was, you'd also have the message at the bottom of the screen, I believe, or maybe not. But yeah, just be sure that your app.css has the correct stuff in it. But this was just a dry run of a Blazor WebAssembly project, and so that's pretty much it. Anyway, back to the video. Yeah, it's not really an error. Well, I guess I don't need that then if that's what. We can run this. And if this doesn't work, it's not that big of a deal. The fact that it runs in there is all we care about. Whether or not the error handling there works correctly isn't very important. All right. No errors. If we did have errors, well, I don't know. All right. So now we want to build this whole thing. So let's take a look at everything. We have our Electron client, we have our WASM client, and now we want to build. So in order to do that, we go to terminal, and then we go cd up1, and then now we're at the root solution level. We want to build. All right, so here we type in electronize build /target win10-x64 /publish single file false /publish ready to run false, publish single file, publish ready to run. Check out what's in here. Looks normal to me. And looks normal to me. Okay, so we run this. Hopefully there are no issues. And it does take a while. All right, and also if you want to make the messages in the console not as frequent, as in it doesn't log every single thing it does, you can make an application settings JSON to set it to not do that. It should be finishing up about now. All right. So I think it is doing this. Oh, nope, it does. All right, so it is doing the bin. Yay, nice. So it's going to pack everything and make an installer. So we're at about like 30 or so minutes, right? Maybe 40, 36. This is how long it takes to basically do a dry run of setting up a simple Blazor WebAssembly project from nothing, and then a context for Electron from nothing to then turn into something. So soon it's going to change that zip file into an installer. If it doesn't, then yeah, there we go. I was like, I don't know what to do. All right, so that's probably the last thing. Log file, I think it's the last going to give us the cursor back. Yay. All right, so now that we have the project totally wrapped up, we can do the setup. Now what the setup does is it makes it so that your project is like an installed application or an installable application. So we clicked it, it's a one-click install. You go here, we have Electron client now. If you go to the location, you get this. So that's your shortcut to your app data, which it stores at. And then you get your application launched. And it has all these features that Windows would give it. Okay, so that's, you also get the developer console because it is a browser, essentially. Okay, hit exit. And then in unpacked, you can go in here and check stuff out. You can also run Electron from here, but this is a separate instance from what shows up in app data. So you launch this, it should build and give you the same thing. Resources, bin, www root in here. If you go in here, you can change the root CSS. And then you can do like body, um, margin 0px, width 100%, height 100%, position absolute, background color red, save it, and then go back to here and then run the client, and it should make your body red. So if you want to modify stuff there, you can, but I don't see why you'd do that. And that's what that pulls from. But the installed application has its own instance of that. So we'll undo all of that, and that's pretty much it. I'll put this up on the GitHub with the instructions on how to pretty much build it from the GitHub instance, because I'm not going to upload all the node stuff. You'll have to run your own command line. But other than that, if you want to check it out or you have any questions, um, stop by the GitHub or let me know in the comments. Thank you very much, and I hope you guys learned a lot and can do something with this.